Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
Ronnie, you know what I love?
What?
I love a good mobile game. They're such a good way to pass the time, you know?
They really are. You know, I'm scrolling on my phone all the time. And for this new year, I'd really rather scroll doing something fun.
We have been playing a lot of a game called Love and Pies, which is a merge 2 game where you are basically merging things like cookies into cookies to make cakes or batter into batter to make cookies. You're also making your cafe look really cute and fun.
Yeah, and you know, we love building things. We love baking things, and we definitely love hot guys. There are really hot firefighters in this game.
There's hot firefighters in this game. In the game, you play as Amelia, who's taken over the old family cafe, but it just burned down when you got there. So like you play through these games, and then you unlock tools to renovate your cafe into its former glory.
So for a tasty mix of love and drama, download Love and Pies for free today.
That's Love and Pies, free to download in the App Store or Google Play.
Life is short, and it's full of a lot of interesting questions. What does happiness really mean? How do I get the most out of my time here on Earth? And what really is the best cereal? These are the questions I seek to resolve on my weekly podcast, Life is Short with Justin Long. Follow Life is Short wherever you get your podcasts. You can also listen ad-free on the Amazon Music or Wondery app.
When there's so much that crappens. Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, the podcast for all that crap we love to talk about on Ye Olde Bros. I'm Ronnie, and that's Ben over there. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Good. It's Ben. It's been dun, 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 dun. It's my favorite Real Housewives of New Jersey 50s music back on our television screens, Ben.
I was like, oh, this is exciting. I'm getting like a cheer squad welcoming me onto the episode.
Yeah, that's just how all the music is on this show, and it cracks me up. They play like 50s, like, I don't know, it's just their style. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Why'd you have to say that? I enjoyed it. I'm hot. I'm hot. You want me, but I'm hot. Too hot for you. You don't get me because I'm hot. But, oh, by the way, never mind. I'm going to skip that. Okay, well, welcome to the return of Real Housewives of New Jersey Day, everybody. And thanks to everybody who came out to see Crappens Live last weekend. We will be continuing through June. To find your city, go over to watchwhatcrappens.com. It's all the links are there. Our next show is our next two shows. The first one's in Phoenix. And this next one is in Los Angeles at the Wiltern Theater for the 2023 Golden Crappies. That is a yearly show we do, and we give out awards, our Bravo Awards. And it is going to be so much fun. It's at a huge theater. We're going to have big guests coming out. So go get your tickets. Also, if you want to watch that, but you can't make it to LA, we have just put the tickets on sale from Moment House. You can stream them. This show is so fun to attend streaming because of the chat room, mostly. You guys are insane in the chat room. You're going to have fun. And guess what else? The ballots are released now. So for the ballot, where do you go? The site too, Ben, for the ballot?
Just go to, watchwhatcrappens.com. There's a link on our website. There'll be links on our social media, really anywhere where we can plaster the link. That's where the ballot is. And you can vote as many times as you want, actually. So this is definitely not like that's not
fair.
Well, that's how we've always done it, that people can vote multiple times.
Really? Well, what if Diana Jenkins sends in her bot? She's going to win everything she was nominated for, which is every role. I mean, every prize.
That's right. Diana Jenkins does have her army of bots, so we'll make it that you can only vote once. We'll actually make it like a real deal voting, like a real institution. So you can only vote once. How about that? You can only vote once, so make it count. But tell all your friends and have them vote too to make sure.
Oh my gosh, I love these meetings that we have impromptu, just on the show instead of like when we should be doing them.
These are really,
fun.
really top level, discussions that need to be had about what setting should be put on the Survey Monkey.
Yeah. So we are going to be touring the country till June. So after those shows, we're going to Charlotte, Atlanta, Denver, Salt Lake City, Seattle, San Francisco, Toronto, Philadelphia, New York City, Washington, D.C., San Diego, St. Paul, Chicago, Columbus, Boston, and the Foxwoods Casino in Mashantucket, Connecticut.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun. It really was so great to be back out on the road last weekend in Texas. And it was just great to be back in front of audiences. Can't wait to do all these shows. Also, I was going to say I'm really sorry because there's like drilling outside my window. Someone is drilling through cement. I don't know why, but someone is doing it. And I was going to say I'm sorry, but I'm actually going to say you're welcome because we are talking about the season premiere of New Jersey, and really isn't like a jackhammer kind of like the isn't that like the ASMR of New Jersey?
That's how I fuck. That's the sound of me fucking. It's like Joe Gorga.
Yeah, it's like when we are in Beverly Hills, they always show the sign, like the Beverly Hills sign, and we see Rodeo Drive. And when we're in Miami, we see like South Beach and beautiful bodies in the sun. And whenever it's in New Jersey, they just keep showing the George Washington Bridge and like construction zones,
like the occasional trash barge floating down the river and construction zones.
Yeah,
you get on Jersey, you hear a bunch of construction noises. A bunch of workers aren't going to get paid, and in a couple of months, Frank is going to show up with crutches.
Yeah. So the drilling is really just a way to make us feel like we're all really just there in New Jersey. We're in Tenafly with everyone going on.
Yeah, so we open with this Monster Mash music, whatever they're doing with that, and we check in on all the ladies. Where are they in their lives? We go over to Teresa Giudice. He's like, "Hey, baby, what you making?" And Louis like, a hot sausage. I know you love a hot sausage, huh? She's like,
and then we go over we see this brick house, which I assume is the Gorga rental, and you hear Melissa go, Joe, the chandelier came in. Can you bring it down? Can you bring it downstairs? So
he's like, whoa, you better wipe it off first, huh? What, to see me shirtless? Huh?
They have the kids bring the chandelier down to the basement, and she's like, come on, Joe, it says fragile, handle with care. Don't have the kids take it downstairs. I'm like, I think it would actually benefit those chandeliers to have the kids just like send it down those basement steps. I don't know. In case anyone hasn't seen the chandeliers, please just Google it. And then you'll see how much they would benefit from like some light shattering.
Oh yeah, are these like those big hairy monster things? It's like
I think so.
I
imagine so.
The monster at the end of a like Nope. It's like the monster at the end of Nope. So Gina,
I haven't seen Nope. But if the monster at the end of Nope looks like Melissa Gorga's chandelier, that is some terrifying shit that put out there. That's terrifying.
So he's like, don't worry, this kid can bench 280 pounds, huh? And then Gino, of course, does try to do the chandelier and immediately drops it on his feet, and he's like, "Ow, Ma!"
So then we go over to Joe Bonino, and he's like sitting on a chair, and Margaret's over him, and he's like, "What are you doing, Margie?" He goes, "Okay, don't be a drama queen, Joe. Okay, come on, open up your nose. Here I come. I'm coming in, Joe. Come on, here I go, Joe." She's got little nose clippers. She just starts jamming it up his nostrils.
He's like, "Ow!" He's like, "Come on, I can't see nose hairs coming out of you. Nothing makes me more nauseous than that, Joe." And he's like, "Then close your eyes." Like, So then we go to Jen with her kids. She's got her foot up in a boot thing, and she's like, "Hey, baby, would you get me a glass of water? I just hate being so immobile."
And Gabrielle, all the kids are around her, and Gabrielle is like, "Your toe looks really fat, Mom." And then Olivia leans in and goes, "It looks so gross."
"Hey, baby, stop it. I'm injured, baby."
She's like, "Can I have some more ice in my drink, baby?" They're like, "God, Mom, you're so extra." So when we go over to Dolores, who's on FaceTime with Gabby, who's holding a little cat. She's like, "Oh my God, Gabby, what is that?" She's like, "It's a baby, Mom." "You're not bringing the baby home. Promise me you're not bringing the baby home." Gabby's brought home 4 dogs, Chinchy the chinchilla, a bearded dragon. "I found a cat in my new closet, and she gave this to me." "You don't even live here that much. What do you care if there's a new cat in your closet?"
This is almost as bad as the time I came home and I'd found that Gabby had put a boa constrictor in the Keurig machine, and she said there has to live somewhere.
Save animals in your own house. You know what I mean? Be kind on your own time, ma'am. That's what I say. So Gabby's like, what are you doing? She's like, well, I was supposed to go on a date with Paul, but he tested positive for COVID. No, extreme fettuccine. He's going to need about 3 days to pass that.
And Dolores is like, I've never been in a relationship like this before. A man who parks his motorcycle on a driveway. I can't believe it. I can't believe how smitten and gushy I am. Look at me. I'm just gushing everywhere. Look.
She goes,
gushing.
You know what? Being happy. That's the key. She's like, wow. Glad you figured that one out, Dave. Good for you. So then Frank comes in.
Dolores! The law! The law!
And you have to knock, Frank. Yeah, knock this. What does that even mean?
And Gabby goes, as long as he's not knocking kittens, looking like this beautiful new... All right, you're not bringing that home, Gabby, all right? I got to go. So she's like, wow, Frank, I was just talking to Gabby. She looks just like me. He goes, no, she doesn't. Yeah, she does. Hey, Frank, someone just said the other day, Gabby sure looks like you. And he goes, who said that? Ray Charles?
That was good, Frank. A very current reference.
Yeah, well, tell Gabby that I got her anteater in my kitchen. I got to get rid of it.
So we go to Melissa and Joe's house, and Melissa's like, Joe, when is my kitchen done? That's the real question, Joe, because Antonia's going to be in her senior year. She wants to be in her new house.
Yeah, just putting it on Antonia. And then Antonia she's turning 16. And she's like really excited to get a new car, but she doesn't want to drive her brothers to school. She's like, they're annoying and they smell like BO. And then one of them just throws a ball at her head. I was like, it cannot be easy growing up as a girl in the Gorga household.
Yeah. So Melissa's like, oh, Joe, you like my nails? I did them for the roller skating party because I'm going to do a roller skating party because everyone who knows Melissa Gorga knows 80s is my vibe. Okay.
I thought that's just what they said about this cast. I don't know.
That's the whole show. It's like the whole show
all the
set
Real
design.
Housewives.
Yeah.
That's like somewhere Tamara Barney is very upset with this. So she's like, I mean, I was looking up to two older sisters. They were so 80s. I love the big hair. I love the outfits. And one can only imagine how much Aquanet my long missing sister used. We'll never know.
So Frank is back to Frank and Dolores. Frank's like, you're taking Paulie? What, to the skating thing? She goes, he's got fettuccine congestion, Frank. Okay. And this house, by the way, is a fucking mess. Okay. Nice job. She gets a new house and now there's just shit everywhere in this house.
Well, there's a chinchilla in there, for crying out loud.
There's like a huge stuffed animal thing. Did they have a baby? It's like a hula hoop against a wall, a huge stuffed koala. What the fuck is going on in this house?
Well, Gabby is rehabilitating this koala. And I said, Gabby, it's a stuffed animal. It's not even real. She said, I don't care, Ma. I want to rehabilitate any animal I see. So we got a koala now.
It looks like you're moving out of here. I didn't stay here because I didn't want to make him feel uncomfortable. She's like, yeah, Frank, stay where you are. It's good. Okay, just stay there. But I barely see you anymore. She's like, Frank is used to being my guy in life. But Paul is very old school. You're my woman and you're with me. And that's it. He grabs your weave, shoves you in a cave and gives you a chicken leg. You know, it's everything I always dreamed of.
Yeah, look at me gushing. Frank's like,
well, the law. I want to be able to be in a room with you and Paulie and our children. Everything feel comfortable, huh?
And she's like, I was always accessible to everyone, but now I'm only accessible to Paul. And that's the way the relationship I want right now, to be only accessible to one man at a time. Well, I mean, let's be honest. I'm accessible to all of them, but I'll say I'm accessible only to Paul.
So then the kids are making fun of Jen's boot, still back at Jen's house. And she's like, I just feel like I've had a slew of bad luck. I mean, first, Margaret was fucking with my life. And then my Ferrari got stolen. So, of course, my mom was like, you got an evil eye. And we have to do a Turkish religious ceremony called a kushon to get rid of bad energy. So I went under a sheet. Some cockamamie shit done to my mom. And then I was at a 50th birthday party for Teresa in chiffon pants. And they literally broke my toe. I was like,
I'm talking about Joe chiffon pants, baby. So Gabriella's like, well, maybe.
She broke her toe on chiffon pants.
And Gabriella goes, well, maybe this has nothing to do with the negative energy and you're just an airhead. She's like, hey, I do believe that someone put the evil eye on me, baby. And it's someone who's just like ultra jealous, who wants me to fail. So it's definitely coming from Dolores, baby.
And then we hear Bill comes in. Ding dong.
Knock, knock.
It must be Dolores. So then back to Frank. Frank's like, so when was the last time you saw Jennifer anyway? And Dolores is like, New York. And we haven't spoken since, and we won't. And then we see a clip of the reunion and Dolores saying, what have I done that's so egregious to her? Nothing. And then it cuts to the reunion, her going, you stupid cut fitness.
So the producer is like, why do you think she called you out for not being a good friend? You know what? I actually don't know. I mean, I gave her one of Gabby's lizards as a gift. I thought that was very friendly. But you know what? She bad-mouthed me to people, talked bad about me on social media, parked a motorcycle in my living room after I finally got rid of David's. It was wrong.
I feel like I backed her more than anybody ever fucking did. So for someone to say anything different, get the fuck out of my face. And you know what? Don't talk to me about her, Frank. Okay? You know what she said to me? She's just like Chinchi when I found it in my Crocs. All right? Dead to me. So then back to Bill. He's like, are you going to talk to Dolores? You
know what, baby? The minute I told her my feelings were hurt, Dolores picked her bestie to call me and say, call me, I'll see you next Tuesday. That's a friend? You call that a friend? She dismissed me like my feelings weren't even important, baby. And it's crazy. I never thought the day would come where I'd say I'm actually in a better place with Melissa Gorga, the stupid sly idiot, than I am with Dolores, baby.
This is such a Jen beginning of the season where she just comes back completely not understanding why everyone hates her after she just was vile to every single person at the reunion. Just fucking vile. I mean, she was so gross. And now she's like, what? You hurt me. Yeah. I'm the hurt one here. Look at my toe.
She always plays the victim. So now we go back over to the Gorgas and Joe's like, so you invite Teresa? And she's like, well, I didn't want to leave anyone out. She's like, but you get left out. And so Melissa tells us that Teresa picking the one person who's her brother's only wife or only brother's wife and saying, I'm going to exclude you is a big fuck you.
Sorry,
everyone's playing the victim. No, it's fine. Everyone's playing the victim this season. Everyone's basically
everyone has been victimized. Hurt. You know, when I'm sure that Teresa would say straight up, "Fuck you." It is a big fuck you. Why would she have you there? You guys don't like each other. So Joe's like, well, you know what? She showed how she really feels, and that's sad. And she's like, yeah, and that's why I texted her that day. And then we see the text, and it's like, Teresa, I don't care if I'm in your wedding. I don't need to be in your wedding. I just can't fight anymore. Let's stop fighting or something like that. And
it ends with like a sleep. It ends with like a sleep emoji, oddly enough.
Yeah. So then she's like, and then all of a sudden I get a text inviting us to Teresa's birthday party on some private island with Teresa's quote unquote closest people to her. Really? We haven't heard from you in 2 months.
I don't think so. So then we go back to Teresa and she's like, oh my God, babe, I love my flowers and my balloons this is. Because there's like balloons everywhere that Louis put up. He's like, yeah, it came out nice, right, Tree?
Yeah. No, at first I was like, I'm not going to embrace 50, but like, I don't like, but like, I know I don't look 50. So like, I'm like embracing not 50 because I'm 50, but like I'm embracing how I look, which is like, not younger number, not number, embracing air. That's what I embrace, air bracing.
And then the kids start coming out, and Louis Jr. is like, hey, Dad, can I help you make pizza? And he's like, sure, yeah, let's grill some pizza. So then the guests arrive. We see Louis' mother, Iris, and Louis Sr., the dad. And Teresa's like, when I met his family, I said, please, God, let it go Wells. And then I got to say, it's been a dream, Dad. It's been a dream, Dad. And the mom's like, happy birthday, 50. Listen, honey, 50's just a number. And my number is unlisted. Anybody? Louis Sr., come on. He's like, cha.
And Louis has his dad helping. Louis is like obsessed with his pizza oven in case anyone forgot from last season. And he's like making pizzas outside. So he's like, hey, Dad, help me out with the pizzas. And it just like cuts to Louis just raging into the pizza dough. He's like, I'm like, oh my God, that'll be a thin crust for sure. It's bounded into an inch of its life.
I've never seen cheese tossed onto a pizza so angrily. It's like, geez, you're so mad at the cheese.
It's like, pizza, shut up.
And Teresa tells us that his mom is a therapist. So she's like very open about how their feelings and like we all like lifting each other up, did it? And you know Teresa is just going to be more full of shit than ever this season because her diary room session is her head and then right to the right of it is a giant painting of a heart. All right. Yeah. Okay.
So Joe Gorga is like, meanwhile, he's whipping himself into a frenzy. He's like, you know what bothers me the most is the way she treated you. Yeah, she admitted what we really are, which is not close. And she's like, I have my people now. Yeah, and that's why I couldn't answer the phone. I couldn't go to a birthday party. I was so disappointed. It's like sad.
So then back with Louis and Tree. Louis like, did you see the flowers from your brother? And she's like, yeah, I'm sorry they ain't here. And he's like, yeah, you know what? I just don't think he should be mad about nothing. And then we see fights where Joe's like, he's sitting over there next to her calling me a bitch boy. And Teresa going, sorry, maybe you are a bitch boy. It's like, no, we can never forgive this.
I know. I don't know why he should be mad at you. As she's like, yeah, well, maybe you are a bitch boy. Like, oh, yeah, I don't know. Why on earth would Joe Gorga be upset about that? His sister called him a bitch boy on TV. I don't know why.
So they're like, he's just immature. Yeah, it's just weak. It's immature. He's insecure. And then he's screaming. And she's like, well, I don't think it's my brother. I think it's Melissa. And he just follows along. Yeah, okay, with your internalized misogyny. It's your fucking brother, okay?
But also, like, you called him a bitch boy. Like, she just completely just
Only on Jersey does that even matter. I feel like I get called a bitch boy 13 times a week. Like, I don't care. You know? Or at least, but then at least under people's breath.
Well, they had like an entire brawl because he called her scum once. So I think bitch boy and scum are kind of like the same tier of insults. You know, with these, it's the Gorgas.
We're talking Jersey, yeah. So Ellie, who's that? I thought having Melissa. She's like, I thought having Louis, she'd be happy, and she's worse than ever.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
It's really hard to stick with working out.
Oh my God, it's really, really hard.
Me too. And it's a new year, and it's really time to get our butts in shape. And you know what? Peloton makes it really easy.
Oh my God, you know I'm a big Peloton fan because Peloton is more than just a bike. You probably already know that Peloton makes bikes, but what you may not know is that they also make treadmills. And no, not all treadmills are the same. With the Peloton Tread, you can seamlessly adjust your speed and it can automatically adjust your incline while you're taking a class so you never break your stride. I have used a Peloton Tread and I can attest that this is what happens. It is a lovely, lovely experience. And by the way, it's also not that big. I was shocked by how compact it is.
Because nothing gets you moving like the perfect song, Peloton offers the best playlists with a variety of genres. Whether you're looking for EDM, 90s pop, something soulful, Peloton has music to fit your mood.
It's fitness for all levels. Like, you don't have to be a super athlete to enjoy Peloton because there are classes for every level. Whether you're squeezing in a power walk or training for a marathon, Peloton can help you achieve your fitness goals.
Try Peloton Tread risk-free with a 30-day home trial.
New members only, not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial.
Meet Jill Evans. Jill's got it all. A big house, fast car, 2 kids and a great career. But Jill has a problem. When it comes to love, Jill can never seem to get things right. And then along comes Dean.
I can't believe my luck. Whoa, I've hit the jackpot.
It looks like they're going to live happily ever after. But on Halloween night, things get a little gruesome.
This is where the shooting happened outside a building society in New Romney. It's thought the 42-year-old victim was killed after he opened fire on police.
And Jill's life is changed forever. From Wondery and Novel comes Stolen Hearts, a story about a cop who falls in love with a man who is not all he seems to be. I'm Kerry Godliman. Follow Stolen Hearts on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen early and ad-free by subscribing to Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app.
Show.
So then we go back to the group, the party at Teresa's house, and they're having a family prayer. And Louis Sr.'s like, "Dear God, we thank you for the gift of Teresa. And we ask that you care of our extended families and Teresa and Teresa. Please don't let this journey with Teresa end on some deserted island with 20 guys who are naked, promising each other to do better. Please, Lord, there's only so much a father can take."
And Lord, while we do appreciate this bounty you give us and how lucky we are to be able to eat it, we could do with maybe one fewer pizzas. There's been a lot of pizzas around here lately. We get it. Lord, you've created pizza ovens and mankind has learned how to use them, but could you also maybe teach mankind to use other kind of ovens too, just asking for a friend? Amen.
Dear Lord, I'd love to poop. That's all. The end. Amen.
Dear Lord, when do I tell my son I'm lactose intolerant?
Oh, so then they get presents for Teresa. She gets a bracelet from my girls, and she's like, girls, hey, tell the family all I want for my birthdays. And they're like, for us not to fight ever, Mom. Yeah, because that's what I'm going through with my brother. I don't want you to gotta go through that. And they're like, we won't, Mom. Sisters are different. She goes, yeah, I wish I had sisters. I got sisters now, though.
And she tells us,
you know what? Like lately, it's been like very tumultuous. It's been very toxic.
It's like, yes, toxic. So, so then they do a cheers to 50 more years of Teresa. And then we have this weird song. Now we go to the roller rink party and we hear like a very sad Trixie Monocle phoning it in moment where she goes, feel the syncopation, take me to the top, don't ever stop. And that's all we hear. All right, Paul, that's good enough. Just send it over to the New Jersey people. They have low standards anyway.
It was just the 80s. Add some synth on there. We'll be fine, Paul.
Well, sure, no girl boss. Nothing about I'm a boss. No, Paul. They don't care about the boss in the 80s. There's only one boss in the 80s. His name is Bruce Springsteen. I'm sure they're not singing about him. Send it in. I rhymed syncopation with nothing, really. Just send it. Send it.
So then Melissa's doing that thing where she's really trying to sell something with a high squealy voice. Like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus. This is so beautiful. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah, she's really, really into it. And then Margaret shows up with Marge Sr. and she's like, oh my God, this is my thing. I'm very excited. Are you ready, Mom? Are you ready? She's like, yes, well, I am, Margie, but I'm not roller skating. Oh, Mom, you can barely walk. Why would you even say you'd be roller skating for crying out loud? That was for you, Joan. That was a little walking humor for you, Joan.
1980s March was amazing. Heavy eyeliner, double session in the roller rink, and then I'd meet my boyfriend later to have sex. So then people start arriving, and Frank is like, Dolores, you got skates? I can't believe you got your own skates, Dolores.
I do. Come on, Frank. Of course, I told you I got skates. Basically, I just attached some wheels to some stale garlic bread and put them on my shoes. What else do you want from me?
It's basically a chinchilla cut in two with some wheels glued on it. All right, what do you want from me?
By the way, you know our daughter Gabby, she has a real problem. She said she's buying me a new pair of Crocs. She actually brought crocodiles over. She's got a real problem, Frank. You got to talk to her.
So Frank is with this young girl, and her name is Brittany, and she's like, I love those. And Dolores goes, yeah, oh, sweet Brittany. I love Brittany. She and Frank dated over the years. They're just a real good couple for each other. Besides the age gap of 25 years. I mean, some of my dogs are older than Brittany. And Brittany's like, I got my shoe on. Oh my God, it fits perfect. Yay!
Yeah. So Jackie and Evan show up, and then Evan's dress, his 80s outfit is like a blue polo shirt with like a pink sweater draped around his shoulders. And Laura's like, oh, I remember you're kind of guys. You're all douchebags. Yeah, and now we run the world. Yeah, whole bunch of douchebags. Listen, are you in the market for 2 crocodiles? Because I may know someone.
So she asked them, she's like, they're all talking about like, is Teresa going to come? Is Teresa going to come? She goes, listen, last time I saw Teresa, she was disgusting to me. And then we just see a clip of the reunion of Teresa going, shut the fuck up, Margaret, you dumb bitch. And then we got back. And she's like, she treated me so poorly. Even Louis was telling her to stop. And then we get a clip of Louis going, you're really making a mistake. How you behaving right now?
Yeah, calm down, Teresa. So she's like, every single thing is my fault. It's like crazy shit. It's all crazy. So then Teresa and Louis arrive, and Teresa has this great 80s costume with the 80s glasses and everything. And honestly, did not look that different from what she normally wears.
It's really not. It's like she's going to play tennis. And also, did you stop at the sizzle tan? I mean, my God, both Teresa and it's like offensive at this point.
I know. So, so Melissa's, she's like, we haven't spoken since the reunion, and there were a lot of lines drawn in the sand that day. And Marjorie goes, yeah, she was so rude to Joe. Okay, hey, girls, let's just stand here and look at Teresa while she walks in and she can see how upset we are. And look at us looking at her. Okay, we're mad now, girls.
So then Joe sees Louis, and he's like, you didn't dress up? Which is going to be probably a huge offense later in the season. It's going to be something he's really upset about. And Louis is like, well, I was going to wear a shirt from the 80s. And she's like, I told him, all you got to do is cut something up, right?
Yeah, and Joe just turns away. He's like, he's been polite for 5 seconds. He's done his duty. So he turns back to everyone else. And Teresa's like,
I mean, I came to your party and you didn't even speak to me. Like, why you even invited me? Blink, 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 blink.
So then we get Jennifer number 2, Margaret's loudmouth friend. She comes over and she's like, I'm telling you right now, you're going down, skaters. You're going down.
Hey, put some respect on her name. She's not Jennifer number 2. She's Jennifer Fezler. Okay? She's the Fez, the Fezmeister, the Fezorama, the Queen Fez around these parts. It's Jennifer Fezler.
So then she's just like cracking a bunch of jokes. She's like, I never said I was skating, huh? I'm like, let the fuck go with my aunt, bitch. But they didn't let it. And then we hear, ow, ow. And Melissa starts screaming because Marge has fallen on her butt. And Marge is like, oh my God, my wrist. I cracked my wrist. You know what? Oh God, I'm all right. It just hurts like a motherfucker. Okay. Do you have ice? Do you have Snickers cream made into little ice cubes that you could put on this? Please.
Like this is why you always got to carry around Snickers cream in your bag, not just for the ice cream qualities, but also to break your falls. Okay, this is a disaster. So then Teresa and Margaret share like a sort of a cold kiss hello, and Teresa's like,
last time I saw her, I didn't like that I was lashing out. So like, I know Louis is very forgiving. So I've always had problem forgiving and stuff. So Louis like, we can do something about it. And so now I'm just going to say forgiving a lot, and that's going to count. Okay.
Yeah, I said forgiveness a lot. And Louis like, we good? And she's like, we're fine. It's just this one. It's like, she'll take a fucking swing. And he's like, nah, she's cool. I got her under control. She's just a lady in a man's world. That's all.
Yeah.
So then Tree is on a couch. And
you see her in therapy. It's like a flashback of her in therapy.
Getting therapy with Tegan Sorvino Quill.
Tegan Sorvino. I love that name. She's like, so you're working on being more calm versus the way you were a year or two ago. Oh, and you just threw your water at me. So I guess we're going to have a few more sessions to work on this. Great.
And I like that Teresa goes, I want to learn that you can be calm and not throw things at people. That's a no-no.
Yeah.
Wow, so, Teresa. What is this, episode season 13 or something? Teresa's like, maybe I shouldn't throw things at people. Oh.
Yeah. So then we see Tracy Johnson, the iconic Tracy Johnson, sort of skating by. And then now we get the first new cast member, Danielle. Danielle is Teresa's friend. She sort of looks a little bit like Suzanne Summers, and
I think she looks like Alexis Bellino.
Alexis Bellino?
Yeah. She looks
if
just
Alexis
like Alexis
Bellino and Suzanne Summers kind of like merged, maybe?
Yeah. And every time they show her husband, it says Nate Cabral.
Yeah.
So I guess he's a big deal. Nate Cabral. It's not just her husband or whatever. So she's like, oh, hi, everyone. I need a drink before I stroke out.
Yeah. And then she's like, hi, Danielle. She's like, hi. She is the person who like spits highs at you when you say hello to her. She gives you like 10 highs in 1 second.
And then Jen number 2 is like, I cannot take the crimp. And she goes, thank you for acknowledging because this took 2 hours. I'm not even lying about it.
So Danielle's stepmother was married to Caroline's brother, which is how Teresa knows her.
That's too much.
It's a lot.
I can't because her stepmom was married to, I can't even do that math in my head. I'm too stupid for that. So then Jen comes with a little knee thing, because she's one in many of a housewives lineage that breaks their ankle or whatever. So she's on one of those little pushy knee things. And everyone's like, oh my God, it's Jennifer. Oh my God, has she said anything about calling me the C word to anybody? No, I haven't heard anything about her calling you the C word. So Jennifer starts hugging people and telling them that she broke her toe. And Melissa comes over and Jackie's like, oh, hi there, I'm Jackie. And Danielle's like, oh no, Jackie, our Jackie. Jackie's like, oh, hi there, I'm Jackie. Danielle's like, oh, hey. She goes, are you from Franklin Lakes? She goes, Staten Island. There's a difference between a Staten Island girl and a Jersey girl. Jersey girls are like, hi, I'm from Jersey. And Staten Island girls are like, hey, I could fight you. I'm tough. And that's me, Staten Island. Want a piece? Capiche?
Yeah, that's what makes me fucking incredible. Just kidding. So then now Dolores joins this group of women who are all talking. And Dolores like, hi, Melissa. Oh, look, it's my Jackie. Look at my beautiful Jackie. And then she looks at Jennifer number one, and just scowls and just turns away. And Jen's like, you know what, baby? I'm avoiding Dolores because last time I tried to talk to her, she said, fuck you, you got fitness.
And Melissa's like, come on, Jen, you guys were good friends. She goes, and the things she says, I wouldn't say to a friend or an enemy. So then Dolores is like, oh, you know what? She walked off. She walked off away from me. And that's a problem. Okay, what are we, in the schoolyard? She's a child. And then we get a...
And Dolores is like, I just don't find the way that she's treating me to be very warranted. So now there's like more roller skating, and Teresa's going around laughing like, this is fun. And Jennifer is like, I don't find anything fun about this, by the way, baby. So then Melissa goes and greets Rachel and John, our second set of newbies. And Melissa knows Rachel because their sons are best friends. And Melissa's like, you know, some people you just click with, you know, like Kyle Richards. She's a good time, you know. Sure, she was born in 1991, but helps me feel young being around people born in the 90s.
And this is Rachel, the one with the real pointy Sheena. She's got kind of a Sheena quality about her, like a pointy nose.
Yeah.
She's like a Sheena. She's like a New Jersey Sheena. And so Rachel's like, oh, so how'd I do for the 80s? It's a 90s girl. I'm like, oh, that never works out well. And that's such a friend of Melissa thing to say, too. Like,
yeah.
Hi, everybody. How did I do being so much younger than all of you hags?
I was a baby while you guys were all in the prime of your lives. Literal baby, literal child, the decade following your prime, in fact. So Margaret's like, oh, that's so fucked up. I think I have underwear older than 1991. I guess what? Joe certainly has nose hairs that old. Joe, it's disgusting. I'm going to throw up in my face. Okay, I've already got a broken wrist. I don't need to ice in my own vomit from your nose hairs. Like it, Joe. Sorry.
So the guys are over there talking, and Bill's like, where's Dolores? Ding dong. Frank's like, she's here. Paulie's not here, though. And then Dolores comes over, and she goes, another doctor in the house. Hi, Bill. And Frank's like, Dolores, if Paulie wasn't sick, would he even come to this thing, huh?
Yeah. And she's like, he has COVID, Frank. And Bill goes, oh, last minute COVID. Guess, you know what? You're going to love him. And Frank goes, yeah, well, you better be loyal to me, motherfucker. Oh, what do you mean disloyal, jerk-off face? Oh, you know, you better be loyal to me. That's what I said. What are you talking about? Don't even start, jerk-off, motherfucker. Butt face, snot, nose. You know what I'm saying, Frank? I'm sorry. I'm running out of steam. I've been up all night with a chinchilla barking.
So every time I look at this girl, Brittany, that Frank is dating, I start doing math in my head. It's like when you're shopping and you're like doing the tax in your head. Like, how much is this really going to cost? You know what I mean? Because if they're 25 years apart and Frank is 53, then what does that make her? Come on, you can do it, Ben. I believe in you.
Wait, you said it. She's 58, 33?
No, he is 53 and they're 25 years apart. So how old does that make her?
I thought she was 33 and he's 58. I wrote down that he's 58 and she's 33. Which would make them 25 years apart.
Well, yeah, they're 25 years apart for sure. But I mean, I just keep doing the math, and it's so weird because I'm putting in the numbers. But every time I press the equal, I just get open roast beef sandwich. So I'm not really sure. But I think this might be one of those, he gets older, but I stay the same situations.
Yeah, I'm not sure. 33 may just be more of a... aspirational age, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know. It
goal.
could be an emotional
Goal age.
goal age. That's how she presents, maybe. But I'm not sure if
Yeah.
it's a factual age, if that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah. So then Frank is talking to Joe later. By the way, Teresa roller skating is hilarious. Okay.
Yeah.
She can't do it. She's one of those people that just kind of flings her way around the rink and then grabs onto the wall and then flings herself again.
Yeah, they definitely get a shot of her just like crashing into a railing. Like her roller skating energy is like someone falling off a building.
So Frank's like, you got to talk to your sister, bro. And he's like, my sister made very clear where we stand as a family, and I can't do it. You know, I didn't do that to her. She did. You all saw it. I'm the victim here. And Dolores just goes, yeah, Joe, I've seen a lot of things. And Brittany's like, yeah, you and your sister should be close, you know, being as how you lost your parents.
You know, when you stand in front of your parents and they say, hey, your family, you stick together for me, you do it. It's like when you go to your parents and you say, Ma, I got a new guy. And your ma says, I don't care because I don't got a new cookie. What are you going to do to fix this? So you get her a cookie. What are you going to do? It's like that.
Yeah, it's just a different dynamic now. And Frank's like us, the law, a different dynamic. I can't even play. She goes, tell them to shut the fuck up. I like that Frank is trying to pull this storyline. He's such a housewife. He's like, I'm very upset that Dolores is ignoring me. So then we go to Rachel. She's like, my ma just got Botox and a whole fucking eyelid is drooping over her eyeball. And Jackie goes, why? She goes, I don't know. And she goes to some guy in Paramus, but I'm telling you this, it was not Jennifer's husband.
I guess this means that Danielle's boob doctor is still in business. Danielle Staub, that is. Now we got two Danielles. There's not even just one Danielle.
2 Jens, 20 Joes. You know, that's the show we're
really
on.
Hard.
So then it's Tree, Jen, and Jen, both Jens, and Danielle.
God.
So Jen 2 is like, hey, Teresa, when was your birthday? She's like, hello. Here, I only hang out with fun people, so sorry if you weren't invited.
Yeah, so Jennifer Aiden broke her foot or toe or whatever it was in Tulum, which continues the narrative on Bravo that all the fascinating stuff that happens off camera happens in Tulum.
Yes, we're continuing the Tulum trend on Bravo. So Jen is like, Jen 2 is like, I know they're friends, like, you know, not everyone's having the easiest time with you, but you know what? I know Margaret. Did you know that? I do. I love Margaret, okay? And she filled me in on you. And you know what? I know she's very upset about it, Teresa. And Teresa's like, me too, huh? She's like, why don't you just sit down and talk it over, Teresa?
So Teresa walks over to Margaret. She's like, hi. And she's like, I want to invite you over to my house. She's like, to what? To bury me in your backyard? No, so we can talk. Oh, okay, well, guess what? We left on a very bad note. It's like watching Jennifer Fessler at karaoke. Bad notes left and right.
Yeah, it was a bad look at it. I didn't feel good about, I didn't feel good about,
I'm sorry, I can't read my writing.
I didn't feel good about burning your used husband. And you know what? If you come over, I'll have some cheese and crackers, all right?
Am I in some weird Twilight Zone? I mean, this behavior is very not Teresa. What did Jennifer Fessler say to her? I can't wait to tell all the girls in Tenafly, including Sabrina, what voodoo Jennifer Fessler did on Teresa. This is crazy.
And then Marge goes to Jackie and she says, well, I talked to Teresa. I guess I'm going over for cheese and crackers. And Jackie goes, well, at least there's less to throw at you. How do you figure? I mean, charcuterie is pretty rough. Okay, can we do pizza?
Yeah, I mean, charcuterie, you can really do a whole bunch of individual throws, because it's like designed. It's like little micro pellets, as opposed to, like a drink, you only get to throw it once. It's a single use throw. But like, as we saw with Melissa Gorga, although Melissa Gorga wasted it, you can take a whole bowl of cheese cubes. You can really do anything with that.
So Dolores is like, I've known Rachel for years because Rachel and Brittany used to train together and Frankie was her trainer. And then we see this picture of them getting ready for one of those body contests that Teresa was doing where they're just like burnt bacon. I mean, they both just look like burnt bacon in bikinis.
The longer you think of that image of burnt bacon and bikinis, it really
It works,
a really fascinating concept.
Yeah, they're just burnt bacon.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
So then Melissa is talking to Gen 2, and Gen 2 is like, I'm getting a drink and sitting on this fucking couch. And that's really all. I just wrote down everything that Gen 2 said because I was kind of fascinated by her.
I love Gen 2 already. I like her because she has like a different friend of energy. A lot of the friend ofs we have that come on are sort of younger and they're wide-eyed and you can see them feeling like every moment they're on camera, it's like their moment to impress everyone. But Jen Fessler sort of feels like, she's like, you know what? I've been on the sidelines for 10 years. I don't even care anymore. I'm just look, I'm going to put on an all denim jumpsuit and just film me. Okay, I'll just give you gems. You decide what you want to do with them.
I also think it's funny that this time they gave them all friends of. Like they all get to pick somebody to come in and be on their side. You've got Gen 2 there for Marge. You've got Rachel there for Melissa. And you've got Danielle there for Tree, right?
Yeah.
So like that. So anyway, so then we go to Rachel and Tree, and Rachel's like, so do you know that my son and Melissa's sons are best friends? Did you know that? And Teresa goes, okay. Like, I hate you already, you know?
I know.
And she's like, are you Italian? And she goes, half Italian, half Jewish. My family is like, Baston. She goes, oh yeah, that's how we are.
And then Teresa introduces her to Jennifer Aiden, and she's like,
yeah, this is my party animal friend Jennifer. And Jennifer goes, good vibes, all baby.
And so Dolores comes in and joins the group, and Jennifer immediately walks away. So Dolores is like, Jennifer, come here, don't walk away, okay? Don't walk away. This is like what I said to Paulie and the defibrillator. Don't walk away. You need this right now, okay? This is the second time you're walking away. Do you want to walk away again? Because I want to invite your husband to something. And she's like, starts like threaten inviting. It's like a really weird tone.
They don't walk away. You know what? You want your ankles broken? Well, that would be good. I'll put them in a calendar. Okay, for charity. Because I got a softball game to raise money again for the Breast Cancer Center. So I was thinking, let's do a sexy calendar shoot. You know, like the sexy fireman. Except ours will be, you know, like sexy guy who never puts railings in when he says he's going to. Or
sexy guys with long hair, nose hairs, something like that. You
sexy
know,
guys with inexplicable hard boobs that aren't muscle.
Sexy guys punching pizza dough.
And she's like, oh my God, why? That's so fun.
So Jennifer's like, is that all you wanted to say to me, baby? And Dolores like, yeah, that's it. She's like, okay, well, I guess you told me what you had to say, and that's fine. I'm going to go find beer right now. You know what? She tells us, you want me to do a favor for you, and then you got nothing to say to me? Got it. But if you want my husband's help for charity, then I'm not going to punish him, even though you've been a fucking bitch to me, and you're welcome.
So Danielle is telling, she goes to the other girls, and she's like, that was an awkward situation I was just in, or what? Was that an awkward situation? In Staten Island, we'd call that awkward, okay? But in Jersey, we say, awkward, you know, like in a more fun way. And Dolores is like, this is the second time she's walked away from me. She goes, oh no, that was me, because I said, Jen, come over here.
Listen, you weren't over there, Danielle. It happened twice already, okay? You know what? I'm going to need some time before I talk to Jen, okay? Because I didn't do anything to her. I didn't go after her. I don't like how I was treated. This is like a high school jerk-off over here. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, was it? That's so hot. So then Danielle's house, I'm like trying to remember my high school jerk off. So I'm like, so then Danielle's house, Danielle's like, Valentina. Oh, so now, yes. So now we go to regular life, right? So we're at Danielle, the Staten Island lady. She's like, Valentina, get up, Valentina. And her daughter's like, I want to sleep, Ma.
You know, when they say you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, totally rings true for a 4-year-old. In the morning, I die. I lose 10 years off my life. I sweat like a mongoose. I don't even know if a mongoose even sweats. But according to Dolores, she's got a mongoose living in a basement now, and she says a lot of sweat, but that could be just from Frank. Anyway, I digress. You know what? As a parent, you got to pick and choose your battles, and my battle is mongoose sweat.
She's like, my battle is trying to get the kid ready for school. So she's like, Valentina, how about this shirt? She's like, hate it. How about this one? Hate that one. Hate that one. Burn that outfit. Kill that outfit. Strangle it. Bury it. I was like, geez, Valentina.
Yeah.
Harsh.
Valentina has high standards. Okay. So then in walks Dominic, who is her son. He's like 7 years old, and he's like dressed in like a little t-shirt, but he also has like a white short sleeve shirt over it and everything. And Danielle's like, oh my God, he's going to be hot, babe. And it's like, yeah, but he looks cute. No, you got him like he's going to the prom already. Come on, take it off. Come on, this is ridiculous.
And she's like, I put the period and the exclamation point on everything because I'm the boss. And so the dad's combing the son's hair. And she's like, my kids are impeccable. My son's hair is harder than the time served by a Judice. And she's like, there's not enough gel, babe. I need more gel. And then she tells us, my daughter has the giant bows and the ponytails. And she's like, baby, lean into mommy's boobies and I'll get these bows on ya.
So then Dominic and Dominic's down in the kitchen with Nate, and he's like, I'm gonna pour myself my own cereal. So he takes the cereal and just pours it all over the counter, and he's got sunglasses on. And then it's like, be careful, mommy's gonna be down here soon. He's gonna yell at both of us. So then she's like, my son Dominic is 7 years old and he's a gem. My daughter Valentina, she's going to give us a run for our money. And it just cuts to Valentina giving them all the finger.
Yeah, she says, and my husband, he's like a freaking Adonis. He's a freaking Adonis. So then Dominic comes in, in those crazy sunglasses. They're like pink with flowers all over them. And she's got the Kyle Richards chessboard floors. And she also has like a plastic outdoor topiary inside, which I think is so Jersey, you know?
Wow. So then she's also pulled out like a little bit of maybe it's like a crudité plate or something like that. And Dominic is like, is that jasmine rice? Oh, come on, honey. It's a dip, hon. It's a dip. And then Dad's like, it's hummus dip. Look, if you took a piece of broccoli and put it in there, I would give you whatever you want, Dominic.
And the dad's like, zero chance. She goes, sad for you. And Dominic goes, sad for you because your son didn't try anything. You just got roasted, Mom. And she goes, why don't you, we could roast Daddy. Well,
I also like that she like rejects it. She goes, no, I didn't. Roast Daddy instead. No. I've seen your application for roasting Mommy, and Mommy says, no, that was not a roast. Try again.
And Dominic's like, yeah, Daddy, I'll roast you because you have big guns. And Valentina's like, yeah, you do the booby thing. And they're like, do the booby thing. And so he does that thing where he flexes his pecs and they like move up and down.
They're all cheering.
And then we get the love story. Danielle's like, when I saw my man in a club, I wasn't trying to date. I just had my eyes on him. It's so dreamy, you know? And the clubs are bumping, and we're like this. And he's like, he leans over to me and he goes, I'm gonna like make all your dreams come true. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what I want? I want a topiary inside. And he's like, I'll do it for you, baby. And he did.
I'm the luckiest girl in all of Bergen County. Wow. Adonis.
So then, she's like, after booby surgery, Mommy could do the booby thing too. You want to see it? And she moves her boobs, and Valentina's horrified. She's like, hated it.
Roasted. So then we go over to Margaret's house, and Joey B is like, Margie, your coffee's almost ready. Joe, yeah. Come on, you gotta do my hair. Like, don't do the coffee, you gotta do my hair. Can you believe it? I'm so irritated. My wrist is actually broken. Sabrina from Tenafly looked at it and she said, you gotta take this into surgery. Can you believe it? I cannot shower without the help of my husband. I cannot blow my hair without the help of my husband. I can't put Snickers creamer in any sort of vessel without my husband, but at least I can wipe my ass with my left hand does. That's the good news.
I mean, what am I, Margaret Day Jacobs? Like, come on. Like my left wrist. And then, you know what, and Joe, I just want everyone to know it's not going to be the same season over and over again. As you might have noticed, Joe has made me coffee. It's not iced coffee. That's it. Don't say I don't grow. I'm into hot coffee now. Tell the world.
So then we go over to Teresa and Louis, and Teresa's saying, like, you know, she's saying, like,
I want to meet with her. Like, I want to make things good. Like, I really want her to apologize, and I feel like she hurt me, and I felt like I was looking at the devil.
So then Joe brings creamer to Marge's coffee, and he's like, I'm surprised she invited us, son. She was so nasty. She goes, I wanted to apologize. Both Teresa and Marge, of course, in their own homes are like, she better apologize. So then Teresa's like, I did what I did because I was so hurt. But what you did was like scream at somebody in front of everybody, in front of a whole restaurant, and take everything off the table and throw it in their face. That's not like, but she made me do it. No, that's a straight up I'm sorry from you, ma'am.
That gets a straight up I'm sorry. So Louis is like, yeah, you felt violated, huh? So Teresa's like,
I have ways that I live my life by, and like my dad was like that. Like he would get angry and like he reacted in a scary way. Like if he thought he was right about something, then like that was it. Like you couldn't say it was blue instead of red because it was like blue. And like he would like bang the table, and like if he had bread in his hand, he would just like throw the bread at my head. Like that's what he would be. And normally I would be like, wow, he kind of sounds scary. But I was also thinking I can imagine sitting at the table and being like, the sky is blue. And here, no, it's green. Sky is green.
No, Teresa, the sky is blue.
No, it's green, Daddy.
No, look, trust me on this one. I'm the adult. It's blue.
It's green. Oh, I'm going to throw this fucking roll at you.
None of us are fucking surprised at this, okay? Your Melissa and Joe's first episode on the show at that christening when the dad was screaming at the top of his lungs, "You're my son! How could you do this to me?" I mean, we know, but it is funny. And Teresa doesn't even know what she was saying was the color. She's like, yeah, like you couldn't say it's blue instead of red because it's blue. Like what? Yeah. So she's like, yeah, I'm just like him. I always react, and I don't want to do that. So Louis is like, all right, let's role play. So Margaret comes in. She comes in hot. What do? She goes, I say, sorry you feel that way. I want to work on things with you, you dumb bitch. All right. And then I show a cooterie on her face.
Hey, Teresa, why are you ducking behind the counter?
Oh, you said role play, so I thought you were going to throw the roll at my head.
But with Margaret, the smallest thing will trigger me, so don't piss me off. You see, this is when people like Teresa start getting their therapy, that they start getting these words that make it sound like they're the victim. That's what makes me crazy. Crazy, really, people like this, stop going to therapy. It's not helping you. It's just giving you better excuses to be the asshole that you are. You are not an asshole because you were triggered, okay? You're an asshole because you were a fucking asshole, period, with the triggering. I can't with that.
Well, she's also removing any sort of like responsibility or accountability for her actions with this statement of, well, like the smallest things will trigger me. Like she's not responsible. The implication is she's not responsible for how she acts if she gets triggered. It's on the other person to change their behavior because Teresa will just act the way she's going to act.
Right. So she's like, I am who I am. I was like, oh, wow, you've learned a lot. So then the Mini Cooper arrives and she's like, should I bring a bottle of waters or glasses? It's like, what? Bowel waters?
Bowel waters.
I think she's saying bottled water. So she's like, I bring a bottle of waters and glasses.
So Margaret and Joe arrive, and Margaret's ringing the door. Did it ring? Oh, it rang. Okay, hey, sorry I'm late. I really, guess what? I really broke my arm. It's fractured. Can you believe it? It's fractured. Hey, stop throwing baguettes at me. That's not fair. I'm already injured as it is.
So
she's
like,
for my dad, sorries.
It's like, I'm a little anxious. I mean, the girl dumped a whole table of stuff on me. And so we see a clip of that. And then Marge is like, to get past this, Teresa's going to have to say some things that I don't even know if she's capable of saying. I mean, I don't want to bring algebra into it, but I will if I need to bring in the big guns. Okay.
I have a list of approved 4-syllable words that we're going to hope that she gets out of her mouth, but we're honestly no promises.
So the dogs are running around barking and stuff. And Tree's like, do you believe I got 4 dogs? I'm like, how am I going to live with 4 dogs? And Louis goes, yeah, my sons and I have anxiety too. I'm like, how are we going to live with 5 girls? And Marge goes, 5 bitches, am I right? Ha 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 ha. And Teresa's like, nah. She's mad.
She just has like a little piece of ciabatta under the table that she's gripping, ready to throw. So Teresa's like, so she's like,
I mean, come on, I'm just like remembering what I learned and stuff, like stay calm, namastes.
So Teresa says,
even Louis said, like we want you to be comfortable,
I was like, oh, so what? You want to kiss me before you kill me? It's a joke. No, I know, Teresa. You're not going to actually kill me. It's a joke. It's a metaphor. Okay, just move on, Teresa.
Oh, yeah? Do you think that you know the real Teresa much? You think you know? Oh, gosh. Are we lucky enough to know the real Teresa? I think we all know the fucking real Teresa, okay? And Marge is like, but, you know, we were close. But there was this piece of you last year that was just so cutting. It was so hurtful. And I was like, who is this? And she's like, but Marge, it was like week after week of me hearing something negative about him, and it was all coming from you. It was all coming from you.
Well, we were concerned at the time. I mean, you know, there was that video. It sort of begins and ends with that video. Do I really have to explain myself any more than that? She's like,
well, I don't give a shit. Like, leave me alone. Like, you're hurting my family. You're hurting our family. You're hurting his kids. Okay? You can't do that.
And she's like, well, Teresa, if you just pulled me aside and said, hey, this is hurting me. She's like, I did. Like, no, you threw an IPA at me called This Is Hurting Me, but that's a totally different situation.
It's like, you went crazy on me. She's like, I thought you was my friend now. She goes, but I am your friend. And so Louis like, hey, you got to listen to Margaret. She goes, I am. He's like, no, you got to let her talk because you're cutting her off. I ain't cutting her off. You're cutting her off. All right, so I'll wait then. Look at me. I'm waiting then. Go ahead. Go on.
Just give us some space to talk, okay? Just give us some space to talk, okay?
Yeah, okay, fine.
Okay, so as I was saying,
I love you. It was your fault. I want an apology.
So Teresa's like, Marge is like, regardless of how hurt you were very rough. I was very freaked out. Just
listen, me too. I was scared of myself. Now I see a therapist.
She's like, oh, right. Okay, but you're a grudge holder, Teresa. And I worry. She goes, nah, not anymore. And Marge just laughs, which I love. She goes, okay, Teresa. She's, I'm working on myself. Yeah, well, what about Melissa and Joe? Okay, because I know there's still issues there. She goes, because of you. It's like, oh, God.
Not a grudge holder.
No, because I got mad at them. Like, I felt like my brother and Melinda, they should have said to you, like, nobody speak badly about Louis, okay?
Okay, well, that's displaced, okay? It's not like she didn't defend you.
But when I texted to Melissa and I said, please don't talk about Louis, like that song from that movie, what did she do? She came out and she read you guys the text. Like, that's family. Like, that's sister-in-law. That's my sister-in-law right there.
Now, I'd just like to break in here because, opinion time, I think Teresa's absolutely right. I think that Marge bringing up all this shit about Louis on camera in the first episode was shitty. It's like, if you're my friend, don't try and blindside me with this shit the first day of rolling. I'm with her on that. And I'm actually with her on the Melissa thing too, where she's like making a joke like, hey guys, Teresa's texting me over and over saying not to call this guy. It's just that Teresa can't even be in the right because she's such an asshole that she makes herself in the wrong by the end of it, you know?
I don't know. I feel like it's like in a vacuum, I would sort of agree with you, but I feel like that. But when you go back to the context of that season, I don't think it was quite as clear cut as that. Teresa also has just spread gossip about everyone and has been just so terrible about so many people. Jackie, oh my God, all that stuff. And but all of a sudden, like when her feet are held to the fire a little bit, when there's something like legitimately crazy, like that video with Louis was crazy. And Margaret was kind of like, what the hell's going on with that video? What's up with this guy that you're dating? I feel like Teresa, I feel like it was okay for Margaret to bring it up. I think Teresa she's just like cultivated this thing about her that, like, God forbid you say anything against Teresa or her circle, but she's allowed to do it to anyone else. And I feel like that's where she really loses. She makes it, she's just so, she preaches about family and loyalty, and but she doesn't follow through on her own end. So that's why I'm kind of like, you know what? She deserves what she gets.
Yeah, and she made it so much worse by just freaking out about it. Like, she does that thing where she's like, we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about no. And then by the end, and she's telling him, oh my God, they're trying to ruin you on camera. They're doing all this. So by the time he shows up, he's about to explode, you know? And she just makes everything so much worse for herself and everyone around her. And that's why she's one of the classic housewives of all time.
She is the classic.
Classic
I've
chaos.
given myself over to her. I have spent so many years declaring that I'm just like not a Teresa fan. And now I just have to give myself over to the fact that Teresa is just a force of nature and there's no point in resisting. Just go along for the ride.
So then Teresa's like, yeah, Melissa, I mean, that's my family. That's my sister-in-law. You don't do that. And Louis goes, yeah, actually, that shows insecurity from a woman when she does something like that. And the music's just, the music changes to the misogyny theme. And I love that they have an actual misogyny theme.
Misogyny theme.
That they play on this show, you know?
And then Teresa doesn't make it any better when she goes,
Yeah, all those texts, those were tests.
and Margaret's like, why do you have to test people though? Like, why do you do that?
No, like, show me love. Show me love. Like, I remember when we first met and we like cried over my mom, Margaret, and like we did have that special, like we did have that special like place, and like I never forget that, and like I don't want to fight with you.
And so Marge is basically like, yeah, but you're still hurt. You're going to come for me. She's like, no, I'm not. She's like, you are. And you're just saying that you're doing this for Louis. Louis is making you do it. Do you really want to move on? Or are you going to try and ruin my life? Like, what's really going on here? She's like, I'm being honest. I'm being as raw as like a cucumber. Is that how you say it? It's like, oh my God. I never heard that one, but I guess that could be a new one. Jesus Christ.
Raw as a cucumber. Okay, that's fine. All right. It's progress. At least the metaphor technically makes sense. Okay. So Teresa invites her to the wedding, and Margaret's like, oh, well, that made me feel good. Well, now that I'm invited to the wedding, I guess everything's okay. So, okay, good. Louis impacting your life. Okay. He's making it better. Who would have thought?
So they decide they're going to be friends for a couple of months this year. And they start talking about the photo shoot. And Tree's like, yeah, well, Louis can do it, but I don't want nobody seeing you peeping. All right. So then we go to this party, right? So they're getting all the themes ready for the calendar months. And Lexi's like, we prepped all the food for Juicy Joe and Bisbon's Gorga. He's 4th of July and he has the apron.
Yeah, well, I don't think that one's going to cover his dick. So then Dolores shows up and she's like, last year's charity baseball game was such a success that this year I want it to be even bigger. This year, we're going to raise money. $1 for every person who's repulsed by this calendar. It's going to be bigger than ever before.
Oh my God, Joe, all the guys have been working out for this and you've been eating nonstop mac and cheese. Joe, come on. All right, and what about Paul, Dolores? Is he going to come? She's like, Paulie's coming, but Frank's in the hospital. And Marge just goes, no. And then we start getting clown music while we hear this story. Oh yeah. He's just started having a massive pain in his stomach. His bowels stopped working for over 12 hours. How often does the guy poop? I wouldn't even notice if my bowels didn't work for 12 hours. How often do you go? Every 10 minutes?
Did you give him some bowel water? Teresa had some. No, he didn't want any. He has to change his diet.
Yeah.
There's a colostomy bag or something that he might need with it. I mean, they're even saying he can't even spit while he talks anymore. It's that bad.
So Joe comes out in his motorcycle gear, and Marge is like, oh my God, I think I just dried up, Joe. I think I literally just dried up. And she tells us, I think, I give him a lot of shit. Like, I bust his balls all the time, but I like a little guy with a little stomach. Listen, I don't want a guy skinnier than me in my bed. Okay.
So then now Danielle and Nate Cabral show up, and then so does Rachel and her husband, John Fuda, and then Jackie and Evan. People just showing up. So Joe starts taking photos on a hog. Margaret's like, oh, you're so cute. This is like sex shots, Joe. Okay, but hide the stomach, okay? I do like a man with a little bit of stomach, but the world doesn't need to see it. Oh, that's for my eyes only. Okay, cover that up. Anyone got anything like a fan, house plants, anything for oversized Snickers creamer? Come on, guys, help me out here.
So then Danielle's husband comes out, and he's shirtless, and she's like, he's a man, and I don't mean that in a, like, I'm going to lift weights. I mean it in like I'm going to take care of you, baby, the rest of your life. You're going to have indoor topiaries that are made of rubber, baby.
And then it's time for Rachel's husband, John, to do this like lumberjack thing. And like, we haven't really seen a lot of John. So in my mind, I haven't like gotten a sense of what he looks like. And he's like, you know what we got to do? I'm doing a lumberjack. I'm going to tear off these sleeves. You got to be a sexy lumberjack. And I was like, oh, this is promising. He has the right idea. He understands about sex appeal. Then I was like, whoa, okay, John. All right. You know what? Bless your heart. Bless your lumberjacky heart.
Bless your confident heart. So the producer's like, so did he have any, because Rachel's like, oh, he's been a model before. Would you have known from those little looks he's given the camera? And the producer asked if he had any success as a model. And she's like, he was on Law & Order. We are amongst a superstar.
I know. We see his modeling photos. It's very much like Constantine Maroulis at Sears, you know, before he grew his hair out, you know?
Eesh. Constantine was hot.
Well, in that case, maybe you find this gentleman hot.
No. So, but I like him. He just hasn't talked a lot. You know, I'm really in it for the personality. So far, I do like that he's got, like, Italians and Lebanese guys are similar in that at some point our face is just all hair. Like, it's not just a beard. It's just, you're basically shaving a face onto your face by removing the hair. And I feel like he has that. He has like a very straight line against the beard where, you know, he just like put the circular thing over his face and just shaved within the line. I'm like, I get it. So I feel like we could be brothers.
I like the way that Rachel coaches him off camera because he's like posing in his lumberjack uniform and she's just on the side going, relax, come on, relax, John, relax.
Which makes everybody relax, always.
Yeah,
every time.
Always.
So then Joe and Melissa are there, and Joe's like, what, is this sexual or what? What, is this sexual? And Marge is like, it is not sexual for you, Joey, Jesus. And so she shows them his costume, which is little tiny underwear and an apron he's going to have to wear.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, I'm not going to wear that. I'm like, since when does Joe Gorga turn his nose up at Tidy Whitey's? Excuse me, sir, get back on brand.
Joe actually has started a couple of seasons with a shower scene, like full frontal, where they have to like blur out his dick. So get over it, Joe. Get the dick out, Joe.
Yeah, crying out loud. So Margaret's like, okay, come on, Evan. All right, you're up next. Okay, tuck your dick in and let's call it a day. Go take some photos and everything. So there's a lot of more photos. And then Joe, Gorga, and Teresa share like a little kiss on the cheeks, like a hello.
Hi, hello.
Like cold greeting.
Oh, God. And if it starts, I don't know if I can take a whole season of this bullshit. But he's like, yeah, clearly I don't want to be around her because leaving my wife out at the wedding, like, it shows. It shows you don't care about this family and keeping us together. What am I going to say? Just nothing. Just be quiet about it, you know?
Say, how are you? How's the new house?
So then Jackie and Marge say hi, and they're all like, oh my God, Jackie, look at your husband. She goes, okay, we did it this morning, so we're done for the week. Thank you, everybody. And keep your opinions to yourself.
Yeah. And then
Bill makes his entrance again. Ding dong.
He's really leaning into doorbells this season. I'm here to take a photo. The doctor is in. So Joe Gorga gets all oiled up. And then while he's taking photos, Danielle's talking to Jennifer Aiden. She's like, so, did you talk to Dolores? Did you say hi to her? She goes, no, baby. She got to say hi to me. I came here for her. I brought my husband doing the calendar. Here to support her cause, baby.
And then it cuts to Louis doing yoga poses for his photo shoot. And Bill just goes, namaste, baby. Namaste.
Yeah, and Jen Fesla comes over, and then and while Louis is getting into his yoga poses, Mark goes, Teresa, you can be the fluffer. Why don't you be the fluffer, Teresa? And the producer's like, do you know what a fluffer is? The long stick with a feather on it for the end of your butt? I don't know.
So then Marge is talking to Melissa and Joe about going to Teresa's, and Teresa said she was so upset about everything coming out about Louis that she was taking everything out on Marge, which is not what she said at all, okay?
No.
She blamed you for spreading it all and making her life hell, you dope of a woman. And Melissa's like, well, that's nice. And she's, yeah. And I was like, good. So you know what? If you have displaced anger towards me, can't you admit that maybe you have displaced anger for Joe and Melissa? And she said, point blank, you didn't do enough to support Louis. And that's it, you know?
Could there be a better expression to summarize Teresa Giudice? Point blank. Just pointing and blank faced.
Yeah.
Ah.
So
the
Marge
only more apt expression is point Blink, 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 blink. Blink, 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 blink. So Melissa's like, I didn't say one negative thing about Louis. She's like, well, she was upset when she sent a text and said to back him up, and then you read it to everyone. And she's like, and he said that it was insecure on your part as a woman. She was insecure on my part? He's calling me insecure? That's insane. Me telling everyone, hey guys, she doesn't want us talking about Louis, that makes me insecure? That was not the spirit.
That was not the tone, ma'am. That was not the tone, Melissa. Because we saw the flashback earlier where she's like, "Oh my God, now she doesn't even want me talking about him." And she's like, "I was just trying to say, you guys, Teresa's a very sensitive soul and very private, and she wants us to respect her privacy. And I think that's really what we should all do, guys."
So they're basically pissed, and now, Margaret was trying to say, like, well, maybe you guys can talk. We talked it out. But now they're like, fuck her for good then. I'm not even going to try anymore. So then Dolores is like, oh, Teresa, Frank is in the hospital. He can't poop. It's been over 12 hours since... Ding. Hold on. He pooped, everyone. He pooped. It took a hose and a crane, but he poops.
Turns out he ate the chinchilla. I knew I shouldn't have let him alone there.
So Teresa's like,
you're going to reshoot him, right? Because, or now you don't got to because you got Paul here now, right? Because out with the old, in with the new old, right? Just kidding.
And Paulie comes, finally. And she's like, everyone, this is my Paulie. And he's like, hello, everyone.
Yeah, because I think he's Paulie. Actually from Ireland, right?
Yes, he's Irish, but he's like real Irish. Love
real
it.
Irish.
So, I'm so excited to do a terrible Irish accent.
I know. I'm like really concerned that my truly inaccurate Irish accent was going to become more inaccurate over time. So now I can be back to a base level of inaccuracy.
Mm-hmm. So he's meeting everyone. He's like, hello. And Jen's just ignoring him. She's like looking the other way.
She's like, don't mind me. I'm just over here with the chiffon attack.
And
the chiffon attack.
So Joe's like, hey, I hear a lot of good things about you. If you contain this beast. And Dolores is like, you know what? The deal breaker for me was when Paul said, if I'm going to be your boyfriend, you have to let me help. And no one said that before.
He made me totally drop my guard. Clean up in aisle 8. I mean, sure. Did I have to change the carpet in the living room for a giant U2 tapestry? Yes, but it was worth it.
Are Sundays now known as bloody? Yes. But you know what? I did it. I did it for my man, Paulie. So Paul's like, oh, she's very romantic. Where's she? I don't know. I'm not going to do an accent for Paul. I can't. It's too much
Ireland
of a clusterfuck.
By way of India?
I don't know what that was. It just came out of me.
It's hard. We have a lot of shows going on right now with a lot of accents. And everything's getting mangled.
Yeah, I'm going to need some time. So he's like, oh yeah, she's very romantic. She's that kind of girl where she always looks out for you. And Melissa goes, that's true. And he goes, but she'd also cut your balls off in 3 seconds flat.
And then Bill emerges in his doctor's coat, but like no shirt. And he's like, does anyone need an exam? A rectal exam?
Oh, God, Bill showed his chest for this. That's big, baby. He's Middle Eastern. They like being hairy, baby.
And then Bill's doing these hilarious poses. He's like, I can hear your heartbeat. And so Jane's like, I got a pain right here, doctor. Right here, doctor.
and then now it's Paulie's turn, and they put Paulie in kind of like an Irish tuxedo shirt without sleeves,
offensive.
And he's behind a bar.
My God.
He's behind a bar.
It's almost as offensive as the accent that I just threw up out of my mouth.
Dolores like, Paul, you look really good. I'm like, it looks like a Party City photo, but that's fine.
Yeah, she's like, I'm a lucky girl. So then Jen with all the new girls, because no one else will really talk to Jen, right? So she's with all the newbies, Jen to Danielle and Rachel. And she's like, Dolores has still not even said hello to me. And Danielle's like, why don't you put the guard down and go say hi to her? She's like, what I'm seeing is total disrespect. So Jen 2 comes over and she's like, she's like, what's going on over here? She goes, I have nothing to do with her. She's like, and there's nothing you could have done to her. Come on.
You know what I kissed her ass? When she was with David, you know how many times I could have said, when a man's in with you for 5 years still doesn't know, then guess what? It's a no. That's your answer. I never said that, but I could have said that.
So Fezler's like, Yeah, well, you just kind of said it right now.
Yeah, well, forgive me now that I'm finally saying something out loud. Forgive me for finally letting out what's my true feelings right now, baby.
Also, that would not have been a bad thing to say to a friend. If you really were friends, that you're arguing against yourself. Because if you really were friends, you would have said, it's been 5 years. Move on.
And you know who actually was kind of saying it was Melissa, your sort of frenemy. So like, it would have, and also, by the way, the rest of America too. It was not a crazy hot take.
Yeah. So Rachel's like, what happened with you two? And she's like, Margaret came out with one of my husband's infidelities because she wanted to deem me a hypocrite. It's like, because you constantly come after me for being a cheater when your husband's a cheater. And Rachel goes, well, I do think that was hypocritical. I mean, you're literally married to someone who did the same things to you and you're chastising her about it, which I think was the argument a lot last year. But accusing somebody of cheating is different than accusing someone of being cheated on. You know what I mean? Like Jen was in a victim place, whereas Marge was in the victimizing place because she was the one who cheated, you know? But listen, those are old stories.
I mean, either way, this was all kind of settled at the reunion anyway. They kind of like figured out like, this is what I meant. Or they also did have coffee in Tenafly. So the fact that Jen is now rehashing this, it's like, but we already settled this. So then when Rachel says it, because Rachel just sort of just blurts it all out. So Jen's like, how did I chastise her? Give me an example, baby. Give me one. So Rachel's like, well, I don't know. I just sort of said like what the producers told me to say.
Well, you don't even know.
Yeah, I'm just saying. She's like, well, you can't give me an example, then you don't know. I'm not a hypocrite. And Rachel's like, oh my God, what the fuck was that? I struck a chord with this girl. Clearly, slow your roll. Stop talking for like 2 seconds. And just cuts back to Jen. You know what? And that's my thing, and I need to know if she even cares enough, baby.
You know what? Just be vulnerable. That's what you got to do.
I am vulnerable, Fezler. I'm real vulnerable. Look at me. I got a tear come down my eye. I was attacked by chiffon. Doesn't get more vulnerable than that.
Jen number's 2, Be Vulnerable read was so good. Be vulnerable then.
Relax. It's like Rachel and Jen Fezler.
So then Rachel and Dolores are in the kitchen talking, and Rachel's like, well, you know, she's very upset because she doesn't understand why you're upset. She's crying. And Dolores is like, give me a fucking break. So Jen and Melissa are talking, and Jen's complaining, and they're right around the corner from Dolores and what's-her-buns, Rachel. So she's complaining that Dolores won't speak to her, and Dolores is like, but she's saying this to everyone at the party but me. And then Dolores hears Jen saying, how many times can I go to someone that's not receptive? If you're my friend, you should acknowledge how I feel. Even with Margaret, she showed me she was remorseful. She didn't say, fuck you, cut fitness.
Oh, what the fuck is this? 3rd grade? This has to stop. Jennifer, can I talk to you over here, please? So she pulls Jennifer to the side. And so Melissa's now talking. Melissa's doing like play-by-play on the side with Rachel and Jackie. And she's like, oh my God, what happened? And Rachel's like, I don't know. She doesn't understand what she did wrong. And now they're on the same page. And now they're not on the same page. They're trying to work it out. And then Jackie goes, excuse me, can I just say something? You haven't looked at me once during this conversation. I just think it's about nice social skills. Rachel's looking at her like, I'm the cast member now, bitch.
Yeah, she tells us these bitches they took it all out of me. Slap, all gone. You know, I'm sorry, Jackie. There's just a lot of moving parts here that have nothing to do with me that I'm very involved in right now.
So Dolores is like, Jennifer, you've been talking about me through the whole party.
No, I'm talking about you to get you where we are right now.
Well, I tried to
I'm
talk to you
talking about you so that you would talk to me. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, great logic.
Yeah.
Well, I tried talking to you at the roller rink, and you walked away from me twice, okay?
Well, yeah, but you weren't making eye contact. You didn't seem like you wanted to talk to me, baby. And last time we were together, I was telling you just a glimpse of how I felt, just a little inner peek into my heart. I mean, it was to say, oh, I don't like you, you cut fitness.
Well, maybe that's because you've told so many people, Jennifer, that I haven't been a good friend to you. She goes, but that's how I feel. Ship jumper, I loved you, and you didn't even have the decency to say what Marge did to me was wrong.
Yeah.
You sided with everyone else. You said that I'm not defendable.
Well, you're not.
Noted.
She's like, I don't think we agree on what a good friend is, Jennifer. Okay? She's like, you're right. I'm nice, and you're not nice. Good. So Dolores is just kind of following her. She's just walking away. they're just both. Jennifer is trying to make something happen, right? Because it's the opening party and there should be a big fight. But Dolores is like, okay, what? I'm not nice. I'm the one person who has something nice to say about you. And Jennifer goes, oh, yeah? Since the one person who won't say something nice about me, huh?
It's a nice fight. So Jen's like, well, I don't care because I realized I thought you were my friend and I just realized I never even had one. And all the girls are sitting there going, oh, God.
Yeah.
No, we're not friends, Jennifer. We're not.
Did everyone get that? Everyone? She'd never been my friend. She's a fucking phony. She's a two-face. And she's not nice. I'm the nice one.
She's just standing there screaming at the whole room. And it's this big cavernous room. And everyone's just looking at her like, what the hell? And Dolores goes, oh, God, do you think I can explain... Whatever, who cares? Jen's like, this is how you talk? Learn how to communicate, Merriam-Webster.
Everyone's like, oh, okay, Jen, that was... You've dipped into that well a few times now.
So Bill comes over. Yeah, Bill comes over. He's like, all right, let's go. Come on. She goes, no, and you stop telling me to come on. And so she starts screaming again. She's like, I thought she was going to be nice, but she was a cut fitness. And yeah, I learned that word from you, babe. Kisses.
Good. You should learn a lot more from me.
Yeah, I should. Like how to be a bitch and a fucked up friend. Fuck her.
She looks like an old fucking handbag. And Bill's like, all right, honey, let's pretend we're going to visit the outdoors house. Ding dong.
Get into the Ferrari so you can puke on the way home. Mm-hmm.
And that brings us to the end of Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Very hilarious. The show is so good. And I think it's going to be a great season. I'm excited for it.
Let's see, yet another Melissa versus Teresa season. So I guess time will tell, everybody, but we're sure back and excited to be back. So go get your tickets over at watchwhatcrappens.com for the Golden Crappies, both streaming and live. And we will talk to you guys soon. Love ya.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors.
Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney. Christy Wowardy Dowardy.
Dana C. Dana Do. She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg. Sarah Greenwood, she only uses her power for good. Can't stop fanning over Tina Manning.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Better do what she says. It's Elva Enriquez. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides. Undo your fasteners. It's Aaron Kastner.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
We will, Joanna Rockland you. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
She's a good hobby. It's Lauren Hobgood.
We want to hang with Liz Lang. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Nancy Cease and Desisto.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar.
Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.